Hey, you guys, it's Tamika Chambers with Create a Generational Love Cycle. And so today is June 25th, 2021, and I am looking out my window just at this beaming sun and the glistening trees, the glistening leaves on the trees. Such a beautiful day here in Oregon, Tillamook, Oregon. And I hope you are having a fantastic start to your weekend. It's supposed to be, well, at least forecasted to be 103 degrees is what I saw today on weather.com. So that should be very interesting. We received a text today, at least I received a text today telling us, notifying us of the extreme weather, the hot weather, up until Sunday night. And so one of the first things I told the children is that go home, get your bag together, make sure you have socks, toothpaste, toothbrush, all that stuff in there just in case. Because just to share with you real quick, last year around about this time, we started having some fires here in, I believe in Portland and just different parts of Oregon. And I remember looking at the pictures and looking outside of our living room and dining area and just looking over where the mountains and water was. And at one point it was so orange that it's like, okay, is a fire like really close by? Is it in the mist? And just, seeing pictures in Portland, how orange the air was. I mean, I read information about how people couldn't even see. So I'm hoping that we will not have to deal with that. Now that we're starting to get into the deeper part of the summer. So happy summer. I hope you guys have a great summer and enjoy it. I will continue to do these podcasts. So I want to get right to it and what our discussion or what I'm talking about today. And as we continue actually into the last week of June, as you know, June PTSD Awareness Month. And what I decided that would be the topic for this month is truth. And so for the last few weeks, I believe this is the fourth week, I have been just blogging about truth, blogging about emotions and myths. And this week I've been spending some time on food, nutrition, and I did put out a blog about the different foods that are out there that have seen to have some data supporting that they're great for our mental health. And so, as you know, it's so important for us to have a balanced meal to take care of ourselves, because like I've stated, like I've put in my blogs, whatever you take inside affects you. That, fruits, vegetables, or whether it's sugary foods, and as you know, sugar have been associated with inflammation, body inflammation, which has been associated to stress, which has been associated to, just these wealth of chronic health conditions, diabetes, heart disease, stroke, you name it, cancer. And so it's so important for our mental well-being, especially if we're going through stressful moments, to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. And over the past couple of years, I have experienced some stressful moments where I've basically, as a child, I started developing this spiritual approach to life. I read the Bible when I was 10 years old. I learned the Lord's Prayer when I was given a bookmark, and I kneeled down beside my mother's bed and I learned that prayer within 15 minutes. I started paying attention to the stories about Jesus. Every Easter, there would be Jesus, a TV movie about Jesus, how his life was and how he acted in the face of betrayal and people not believing him, even his own people, his family, and people judging him based on what he wore and what he said, and teaching on Sabbath day, going against the law. And he was he appeared to be this just calm, cool, collected, loving in the face of betrayal and hate, forgiveness, having compassion, and healing others despite what others were doing. And so I identified with him because he was poor, and I had just been through abuse, felt betrayed, and just really looked for something to guide me. My father wasn't there, and I had two family male members who sexually abused me, so they weren't there for me as I wanted them to be. So the person I actually looked up to was Jesus, and I'm so thankful for him and the timing showing up in my life around that time, and having that to watch and reading the Bible and learning, just going through everything I went through, going through nursing school and learning about foods to eat and learning how to take care of my body, learning what smoking did to the lungs, and seeing the actual tar lungs, the spots of a non-smoker on a cadaver. Going to see that and realizing it was like, wow, I didn't really want to live that way. I learned about alcohol and substance abuse in school. I learned about addictions. I also learned about Maslow's hierarchy of needs and self-actualization and Pavlov's conditioning. And I learned about growing old gracefully. And I learned about Florence Nightingale and so many nursing leaders who, despite their upbringing, they persevered and wanted to take care of others and to help others, to be the best they wanted to be. And so along my path, I learned that despite what anybody else do or does, you have to take care of yourself. And I've been on that roller coaster, weight gain, weight loss. I've been on that roller coaster. I've been the highest after our daughter was born in 2013. I got up to about 50. I weighed like 70 pounds over than what I was supposed to weigh, according to the BMI scale. And so, instead of using that excuse that it's okay to be overweight, you just had a child, I thought about the damage that could be happening to my body. I thought about, eating what I was eating, and how no matter how much I work out, because eventually I started working out, I got the treadmill, I was used to walking, I love walking. And so that was the avenue I took to lose pretty much that 70 pounds and to get into shape. Because eventually I knew that I had to take care of myself, and I couldn't just gain weight and get up to 200 and 300 pounds. And then I know that getting up to that weight can be not only hard on my body, but also hard to lose it. And so I became more conscious. And then as I continued to read the Bible in my 20s again, after reading it initially when I was 10 years old, I learned more about how the body is holy, and how it is what I realized, a vehicle for our message, our divine message that we're here to give. And so I started really paying attention in nursing school, and even after becoming integrated nutrition health coach. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to do that, not just so I could teach others, but so that I could be healthy too, along with my family. So I learned about kale and green foods, and how, eating greens are actually purifiers to our body. And I really, found out that is quite true. Eating green foods really helps because there's so much fiber to regulate your digestive system. And you're talking about, getting in your B vitamins from different foods like liver and beans. And, even with my meal plan now, I have certain days I do things like on Mondays and Fridays, I have omega-3 fish day, or omega-3. I have salads on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and trying to be more consistent about that. I have beans to at least eat once a week, and that's typically for our Mexican Tuesdays. And so what I have found that I will share with you is that one of the things that have helped me in eating healthy, in helping to preserve my mental health and helping to not stress out my digestive and my body, keeping my cholesterol levels down, is by making a meal plan. And not just saying what you're going to eat, how many calories and, how many nutrients you have, being really obsessed about it, but how, if you know that you're supposed to, or it's encouraged for us to have greens, it's encouraged for us to have beans, it's encouraged for us to have grains and protein, how can you go about putting that into your meal plan? And one of the things that has worked for me as well as my family, especially when I don't know what I'm going to cook, at least I'll have an overarching idea. So again, Mondays and Fridays are my omega-3, my fish day. Tuesdays are my beans day. Wednesday is my all-American day, to kind of get that in, like burgers, turkey burgers, fries, and sometimes I'll use that to combine with pasta day. So I'm actually getting more of a win-win because I'm not stressing out about cooking. I know exactly what kind of day it's going to be, so what kind of foods fall in that day. And I also have learned to be flexible. Sometimes my husband, or maybe I don't feel like cooking and we want to go out to eat. And so making a plan has helped me out in so many different ways, not only with feeling full with minimum amount of food, but also to less stress on what to cook, making sure that we get those nutrients, those rich nutrients, those greens, like I said, grains, beans and peas, making sure that we get milk and, protein, lean protein. So it's so important to, in so many ways, for me to make a schedule. You can, I definitely would love to hear, you can reply to my blogs. I'm on Medium and TamikaSchambers.com. What do you do to help you, regarding foods? What do you do to help you maintain mental health? How are you using your meal plan or the foods that you eat to keep your sanity? Because, we live in one of those worlds that everything has to be done this way. And there's so much information out there about what foods to eat, when to eat them, how to eat them. One of the things that I've also shared regarding foods, not only making a schedule, but also to listening to your body. What does your digestive system tell you after you eat something? Are you having headaches? Is your blood pressure up? Are you having swelling in your fingers? That is the biggest key, because everybody can tell you how to eat, but no one lives in your body and knows what's going on and feel the symptoms that you're feeling. So definitely pay attention to what your body is telling you. How do you feel after you eat? And I tell you, one of the things that is so beneficial is making sure you get enough food to eat, because you may not feel hungry, but your body needs a certain amount of energy to do the work that you're doing. So if you're going all day not eating until the end of the day, and then you have this big giant plate in front of you, or even a small plate in front of you, because you don't want to overeat, you may be doing your body more harm than good. And so I'm not just telling you to tell you, I'm telling you because based on the physiology of our body, your brain loves glucose as its main form of energy. So you can still get that through your fruits. You can still get carbs through your vegetables, even though they don't have as much. You can still get carbs through grains. And so many people have the fear of, well, if I eat this, maybe I'll eat too much. And fear is what will really cause you to overeat, because or undereat, because you're not being in the present. You're not living in the presence with your body and listening to your body. And so it's just so important to make sure that you're mindful about what you're putting in your body, how you're putting it in the body, when you're putting it in your body, because you only get that one body. And anytime that your body is stressed physically, you're going to feel the mental stress. And many times when we say about mental health, you definitely want to make sure that you are eating a well-balanced meal. So picking up the lean meat, if you don't do meat or you're meatless, then making sure you're getting substitute. Are you doing tofu? Are you doing edamame? What are some other things that you're doing too as well? So just want to share those little tips with you today. And again, your mental health is affected by what you eat, how you eat it, when you eat it. Biggest thing is that I found that works for me is making a schedule, and not just literally writing out what you're going to have each day, but if you can do like themes for your meal plans, that really helps for me. Making sure that you include more vegetables in your meal plan, less calories. However, they're going to give you that fullness because of the fiber. Making sure that you are consistent as much as possible in eating, not skipping meals, and just try not to stress over eating. Because like I said, there's so much information out there. People can tell you how to eat, but you really have to really sit down and say, okay, what is my body like? What does my body not like? And really be a student about your health. So this is Tamika Chambers with Create a Generational Love Cycle. The more we take care of ourselves, you guys, the easier it will be to help our children take care of themselves. And then that moves on to our children's children. So the examples you set today not only benefit you, but those that will follow you. And we can create this love cycle where the family, the legacy that we leave does not have to be about diseases, mental health issues and diseases, diabetes and heart disease. We can change that by our thoughts. First of all, our beliefs about us, our thoughts, and then our actions, how we treat ourselves and the examples that we're setting. So until next week, I look forward to sharing some really good information with you. You guys take care. Have a fantastic weekend. Use your suntan lotion spray because it's supposed to be a hot one, I think all over the United States and probably in other countries too. And just enjoy life because this is what we have. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Take care of yourself. And I look forward to sharing more information in the future. Bye.